Hey yo, BB here. So, like any or most of my videos, I will tell you it's been a very long time since I've came on here and talked. It's kind of been busy with just hanging out with friends, family, doing some alone time, even though I've been doing that for like 3 years, because unfortunately, that's how long I've been out of a job. Even though I am really trying to get a job, I keep applying places. I'm actually so desperate to get a job, I'm applying at places where I told myself I would probably never work, like a dentist's office or some place like that. Even like a librarian, receptionist, I've. Oy. But, anyways, I know, like I said, it's been a while since I've came and talked. And I know when I first started out doing YouTube videos 3 years ago, what was it, what has it been, 2.5, 3 years. I know I told you guys at one point that I don't know how often I would film. It may be once a day, it may be twice a day, it must be, you know, once every other day, it might be once a week, once a month, once maybe even a year. I've kind of, pointed out that I don't know how often I'm going to be able to come on here and film. You would think I would have a lot of time not having a job and being home and unemployed, but I do, but like, I don't know, sometimes I just don't always feel like filming. Now, I do also want to point out I have not showered. We literally got back from Springfield yesterday. Obviously, me, my mom, and dad, we went out there to see my sister that lives in Springfield. And I know you guys know this because I've done videos. Excuse me. I've done videos of me just talking and doing a few videos down there in Springfield. So, it's not like my first time telling you guys that we've been to Springfield. And we were down there for Labor Day weekend. In my opinion, it was kind of a little bit of a waste because we kind of went down there to see my sister. Me and Nancy worked midnight to 8 a.m. She practically could only hang out till like 5:06, and then she had to go home and sleep. So, don't get me wrong. We had plenty of time to hang out with my sister. We hung out with her and her fiance. We had fun. We went out to eat a lot. We went to like the Lincoln Library. Me and my dad, one night he wanted to go smoke a stogie. So we went by Lincoln's house, and me and him were just like walking around his neighborhood. He was smoking. I don't smoke. Sat on a bench, and he just finished his stogie, and we kind of walked around. Very nice night. So we, been in Springfield since we left Thursday and came back Monday. Like early evening. How can I put this? So Monday we came back about 4 o'clock. We arrived back home about 4:15, because we left early from Springfield because we knew my sister had to work and we kind of needed to get home because my parents worked the next day. We also had to return the car and all that. And then once I got home, I went to a friend's house in Mount Prospect, and I was just hanging out with her in Mount Prospect. We watched movies and stuff. But anyways, so again, I have not showered. I am due for one. I do need to take one. It will be my first time taking a shower since being back from Springfield. Like I said, we have only been back for like not even a day. And I did shower and bathe in Springfield. The hotel had a hot tub. The hotel had a bathtub. And I'm that person where we have a bathtub in my house, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like very weird. unique, and like half of it drains. Like, I know I'm fat and I know I'm big, but you get into the bathtub and like half of it drains out, and it's just like, it's an old bathtub. This house was built in '88, so it's a, what's that? Someone was calling me from Mississippi. I don't know anyone from Mississippi. We have family in Alabama, but they're like second cousins twice removed, and they're not in Mississippi, they're in Alabama. Close enough, but anyways. Um so yeah, like I said, I don't know how much time I have to film because my phone doesn't give me like a clue to how long I have to film. So if this video breaks out at any point and I have to do a two-parter, I apologize. My phone is really weird when it comes to filming. It's weird, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't have a video editor. I literally talk, upload, and then it's done. I don't have like, I don't want to say I don't have the money for one. It's just, I'm not that big of a YouTuber. I have like maybe 3 or 4 subscribers, and they're all friends and family. And I don't want to say that that doesn't count, but I don't know. So anyways, so let's get to the video, I guess, even though we kind of already been there. Okay, so I technically have 2 things I can talk about, and I want to talk about the movie review, because that's kind of what I film. But later on, I'm also going to talk about the story where, have you ever had a close, what do you call it? If you like had like a close death experience, I think I had mine. And if you ask me, have I ever had a close life death experience, I would probably have to think about it until Friday came. Last Friday. And I think I had one. But like I said, that's going to be another different video. This video is going to be a movie review. Okay, so this is kind of going to be a short movie review. Even though I really love the movie that I'm going to be reviewing. I like to get detailed with movie reviews, but I don't really like to talk too much on movie reviews because I know when it comes to some movies, people have so many opinions about one movie. Like, some movies have like 7 or 8 movie reviews. I just was watching reviews on YouTube of this particular movie, and there's like maybe 4 or 5 on there. It's an older movie. It came out in 05, 06, I want to say. It's a scary movie, and I will want to tell you that 05, 06, I'm pretty sure it came out in 05, maybe 08. Back then, in like the 2000s, early, mid 2000s, I was still a little young at the time, and I would tell you, I was in the process of getting used to scary movies. Like 05, 06, I was in the process of learning about scary movies, getting back in touch with it, getting to know what I liked, what I didn't like when it came to what type of scary movies, did I like, and what kind of scary movies did I really not so much like, kind of trying to figure out what I liked in a scary movie. Like, did I like chainsaws? Did I like knives? Did I like, having to play games? Did I like cat and mouse games? Did I like jump scares? Like, what exactly I liked in scary movies? And I found it, obviously, because it's many, 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 many years later, and many, many, many more movies that I have watched. So when it comes to scary movies, I really not a huge fan of remakes. Now, I will watch a remake. Like, I've seen just about almost every remake. I've seen Friday the 13th remake with Jared Padalecki. I've seen him in House of Wax. That's actually technically what the video is about, House of Wax. Oh, excuse me. I've seen him in I've seen, House of Wax remake. I've seen the Halloween remake with Rob Zombie and those so I've seen, the House of Wax remake, the Friday the 13th remake. I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street remake, The Stepfather, Chucky. What else remakes have I seen? Amityville Horror remake with Ryan Reynolds. I've seen, I want to say I've seen more. But, you get the point. I've seen remakes. I don't technically mind watching them. It's just, to me, I am a original girl. I like the originals better. For example, Halloween. The Rob Zombie ones, I don't want to say they sucked, but they weren't my favorite Halloween. Now, you would think Rob Zombie, being like he's like 6'7", kind of scary looking guy, would make a good scary movie. And again, I don't want to say they were a bad movie, because I know some people love the Rob Zombie Halloweens. But John Carpenter, man, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. And I understand that he pretty much made one movie. I think he only did the first Halloween in 78. Oh, the other Halloweens, I don't believe he did. But John Carpenter, I think, scares me a little bit more than Rob Zombie, to be honest. But, I don't know, it's just something about the originals where, I just like better, Even though remakes, they're not too bad. Like, for example, the movie The Stepfather. I've seen both. I've seen the original, and I've seen bits and pieces of the... Well, actually, I've seen the remake, and I've seen clips and parts of the original. I haven't sat through the whole original Stepfather, but I've seen enough parts of it. I've seen enough movie time of the original Stepfather that it's like, well, I like the, remake Stepfather a little better, But anyways. So, House of Wax. Ooh, it's one of those movies where... I think it's one of those movies where you can say you either like it or you hate it. And I personally love it. But again, I think a lot of people will say you're either going to like the movie or you're going to hate the movie. And I will admit, I love the movie. Now, the problem about the movie is it did take me years and years to watch it. Like I said, when it came out in like 05, 08, I wasn't quite into scary movies at the time. I was like easing into them. Like I will tell you, like one of the first scary movies I probably saw at the theaters. Like I actually went to the movies, bought a ticket. I want to say it was a close call between P2 or Prom Night. And Prom Night was more of a thriller. I mean, it was technically considered horror. But I want to say Prom Night or P2 was one of the first two movies where I think I've actually went to the movie theater and watched a scary movie. Since then, I've seen almost everything. It... what else have I seen that's scary at the theaters? Fantasy Island, The Conjuring, Annabelle. No, I didn't see Conjuring. I've seen Annabelle. This and that. I'm not going to point out every movie I've seen in the theater that's scary, because I've seen a lot. But, I really do love going to the movies and watching a movie, especially scary, at the theater. Like, me and my girlfriends, Letty, Wendy, Stephanie, Vanessa, Cassie, Corey, you name it. All my friends pretty much love scary movies. There are a few friends that are like, yeah, I don't like scary movies, like Monica. And that's fine, and that's understandable, because scary movies aren't for everybody. Like, not everybody likes scary movies, and I understand that, and we can't be friends, unfortunately. No. But, I'm joking about that, by the way. You know, I really do like friends that, because it's easier for me to have a friend that likes a scary movie, because then we can watch it. You know, it's like a boyfriend, in my opinion. If I ever have a boyfriend, I would want them to like scary movies, because it's like, if I'm going to marry you possibly one day, possibly have kids with you, I want those kids to be able to like scary movies. And if their dad doesn't like scary movies, and it's gonna be difficult to watch them at the house, because I wouldn't want to put on a movie that someone didn't like to watch, you know. So, anyways, but House of Wax, it was one of those movies where I really wish I would have saw in the theaters. That and Safe Haven, even though Safe Haven is a scary movie, it's actually complete opposite. Safe Haven is a love movie by Nicholas Sparks. That's one of my favorite Nicholas Sparks movies, besides The Notebook. But anyways, you know, House of Wax, when I first watched it, like I said, it took me years after it came out to actually watch it. I think I technically started watching it like maybe 2.5 years ago. 2.5 to 3 years ago was the first time I think I actually sat down and watched it. What made me actually finally sit down and watch it, I think it's because I watched the trailer. Because my sister always talked to me about watching it. Because my sister saw it. And she's like, Brenna, she's like, I really think you would like House of Wax. I really think you would like it. And I'm like, isn't that with Jared Padalecki and Paris Hilton and Chad Michael Murray? And she's like, yeah. You know, Jared Padalecki is in it and Chad Michael Murray. And I'm like, well, Chad Michael Murray, he's okay for me. He's in like the category of Brad Pitt. Well, actually, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise is a little bit more high class than Chad Michael Murray. I think they've done a lot more than he does, and a little bit better of an actor than he is. But anyways, oh Lord, on the TV I'm watching Big Mama. When the kid goes to college and he dresses up as. Anyways, but yeah, she was like, oh, she always told me like, you really should watch it. She's like, I know you're gonna love it. I know you're gonna like it. And that went on for a few years, and then finally I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna watch the trailer. I'm gonna see what I think about it. I finally watched the trailer, and I was just like, oh, 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 whoa, what? Kind of opposite, and it's not like quite what I thought the movie was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be about wax, and I knew it was gonna have like wax-based stuff in it. But I saw the trailer, and I was just like, whoa, hold the phone. What is this? What is this? Hang on. It doesn't sound like this is a movie about House of Wax, even though besides the wax in it. But anyways. So, I finally went to it on YouTube. Watched the whole movie. I fell in love with it. At the end of the movie, when it literally ended, I kind of just sat there and was like, dang, my sister was right. I do love the movie. And I ended up buying it on YouTube. I really do want to buy the CD of it. I haven't really been able to find a Blu-ray of it at stores. Like, even just the regular DVD, I haven't really seen it in these stores. And we got Target and Walmart where I live. I guess I can go online, but I really want to try to avoid that, even though I really would like to have it on DVD and video. Wait, do I have it on DVD and video? I don't even know if I have it. I don't believe I do. I know I have it on YouTube. But anyways, it is just like, it's kind of also one of those movies where I think I don't personally like Paris Hilton. And I don't really want to talk too much about her because I just don't like her. I think she's too like, ooh, look at me, my dad owns a hotel, and this and that, and look at my nails, and I buy Gucci purses and purses that cost more than a car, and this and that. But like, to be honest, I think she was the smartest person in the whole movie. It's like she's the only one that actually got a weapon I was like, I'm going to try to hide, and I'm going to try to fight this person if he comes after me or something. And I'm just like, you know what, Paris Hilton, I don't like you, but go. You go. Like, dang. See, it actually isn't as stupid as I guess I thought she was. But anyway, so again, it's also like it has those parts where it's like, okay, this is like, stupid. It was a little boring in the beginning. Like, I would tell you there are some times where I've watched this with a few friends of mine, and I'm like, I told him, to be honest, let's skip like 20 minutes into the movie, maybe 15, 20 minutes into the movie, where they actually get to the town of House of Wax. And because you're not going to miss much in the beginning. The beginning's boring. It doesn't really add up to, it adds up to stuff, but like, I promise you, if you miss like the first 15, 20 minutes of this movie, you're probably not gonna, it's not gonna make a difference if you miss it. Like, some people are like, what, you crazy, you gotta sit down and watch the whole movie, and I get that, but like, I kind of feel like this movie is really like, if you would turn it on the TV and you would see all this, like, 20 minutes I missed, or half an hour I missed, maybe not so much half an hour, but like 20, 15 minutes, you probably ain't gonna miss much. And it's not like you're gonna miss a big clue or like, I don't know, hint or something of the movie. But like, what really upsets me is like, again, I really wish I saw this movie in the theater. I'm like, ooh, I would have been so glad if I went to the movies with my friends and saw this. Like I said, at the time that it came out, I was still a wee bit young. I don't think I was even 16 at the time that it came out. I'd have to do the math and everything, and I'm not about to do that because they don't really care that much. But it's one of those movies where it's like, dang, this would have been a good movie to go see at the movies. And I don't go to the movies just for every movie. Like, some people will go to the movie and they'll review every movie that comes out, or every movie that comes out at the theater, they'll go and see. I don't particularly do that. I only go if it's pretty much only if it's scary. I mean, yeah, I'll go see like Indiana Jones, Superman, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. I mean, I will go see other movies at the movies besides scary. But pretty much it's like, yeah, kind of gonna almost be scary in order for me to go and see it. But my favorite character, in all honesty, as much as he's evil, as much as he's bad, as much as I'm glad he's dead, was actually Bull, the mechanic of the town. He actually owned the town. He was like a big character in the movie. I think the guy that plays him is Brian Van Holt. Brian Van Volt or something. I don't know. He has like a German sounding name, but he's actually from. He's from Wakanda. Or Waukegan. Where is he from? It's the problem about being from Chicago. I'm from Streamwood. He's from a town up on the lake, and there's a few towns. There's like Waukegan, Wakanda, and Winnetka. And wait, Winnetka? I don't know. Waukegan and Wakanda, they confuse me because these both have W's in them, and they're looked and spelled very similar to each other. So I'll be like, oh, Mom, look, he's from Waukegan. And she'll be like, Wakanda. Or I'll be like, oh, he's from Wakanda. And she'll be like, Waukegan. And I'm like, oh, dyslexia, not really being able to read very well. But anyways, he's from like a city of Chicago, like a suburb of Chicago. So then I was like watching the movie, I was Googling everybody, and I saw that he was from Illinois, and I'm like, ooh, he's from Illinois. And then I saw that he was like from like Waukegan or Wakanda, and I'm like, that's pretty close. That's pretty close to where I live. So he's like my neighbor, so I'm like, ooh, he's cute. Anyways, so he plays Bull. And don't get me wrong, I'm always that person where it's like, I love when the good person wins. Like when the good gal or the good guy wins and the bad guy dies. I'm always just like, yes, go, you get it. But then again, I'm just like, oh, that means the movie's gonna be over, and I'm gonna have to get up, and I'm comfy, you know. So as much as I love that he died and he lost, and I actually really kind of like the way he died because he was beat with a bat, and I'm just like, ooh, go, you whack him like there's no tomorrow. Like, he did a good job with that baseball bat. Like, I was just like, you go, swing at a bat. I don't want to say it's rocket science, but a bat like that, that's like a Louisville. That's a heavy bat. Like, I got 2 Louisville sluggers right now in my house. I have one in my room that's like from League of Their Own. And I say League of Its Own because it's literally the size of my head. Like yeah, it's like 20 pounds. I have a skinnier one that's not so heavy by the front door. So, to see her use the bat to whack the killer to death, I'm just like, ooh, that's kind of something new. But yeah, I mean, it's a little slow at some parts of the movie. But then, like, the chase scenes, like, in the church, where the girl's, like, hiding under the mannequin, that's a little creepy. Even though I give her credit because that was a small church, and the first time I watched that movie, and you heard Bo going up the stairs to the church where the girl was in, trying to hide and figure out what's going on. And you hear him coming, and you're like, oh crap. And you're thinking, okay, where the hell is he gonna hide? Because that's a pretty small church. Now, don't get me wrong, the church that we technically go to, it's a small church. Very small. And I'm just like, well, it's a little bigger than the one in House of Wax, obviously, but, you know, still, it's like, he was, like, looking for her in this church, so he comes in, he's, like, looking around, like, looking under the tables and stuff, and when I first was watching it, I was kind of just like, okay, where did she go? Because you don't really see her hiding, like, you see her hiding, but you don't see where she hid, so you kind of gotta be like, where did she go? You know? And then you find out where she went, and I'm just like, ooh. Keep that in mind, as in case I ever end up in the town of Hot Wax, and I have to hide. Going in the mannequin, even though he was a priest. Yeah, God loved that. Even though, of course, God probably did like it, because obviously she survived and she didn't die. But anyways. So it was a little slow, but like, I personally, when it comes to movies, and I know I sound like a sicko when I say this, so I'm not, and I am a sicko, even though my mom's called me a sicko, because she's like, you're really creepy and sick for watching all the scary movies, and the type of movies that